it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another Magic Puzzle Quest video. Before anything gets started, I need to give a massive shout out, big time thank you to Merrick. Merrick is a player in the Power 9 group Dim Mak, and Merrick made that amazing intro for me. So, thank you so much, Merrick. That it looks so cool. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of that intro, but I'm super stoked. I think it looks awesome. Super awesome. So let's get into the meat of the video. But I needed to make sure that I said a big thank you to him. So this video is going to be about a brand new bundle that's going to be entering the vault. It's going to be on Krond the Dawn-Clad and the cards that come with Krond. So another shout out, thank you to Octagon for hooking me up with this bundle so I could put this video together for you guys. The Krond Bundle is going to come with 4 cards. It comes with Krond the Dawn-Clad, it comes with Indrik Umbra, it comes with Predatory Urge, and it comes with Core Spirit Dancer. Now, Krond is the Mythic in the bundle, and he is an 18 mana 6/6 flying vigilant creature, with when this creature attacks, if the creature is enchanted, exile an opposing non-land support. This effect can affect Vanguard supports, and if you can't, exile the last opposing creature. Now, part of what makes this so sweet is that it's when Krond attacks, so you don't have to worry about blockers. Usually it just goes, attacks, and exiles right before anything else happens, which is actually quite sweet. The second card is Indrik Umbra, and Indrik Umbra is an 18 mana aura. It's white-green, and it has target creature you control gets a permanent +6/+6 and gains Berserker and First Strike. Then that creature gains Enchanted. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with its reinforcements. Then it loses all of its buffs and enchanted effects. This aura is awesome, like super awesome. This aura makes it so that your creatures just don't die. And so once you start playing this thing, your creatures are like these amazing Berserker First Strike things that if your opponent plays removal on, it really basically does nothing. So, super cool. The third card is Predatory Urge. Predatory Urge is a 10 mana aura. It's green. Target creature you control gains Enchanted. When your opponent activates a loyalty ability, this creature fights the first opposing creature. There are a few fun ways that you can use this card. You can put this on one of your opponent's creatures and then activate your own loyalty abilities and watch as your creatures fight their creatures to death. Or you can put this on a really big baddie of your own, maybe something that has, I don't know, prevent damage, and then you go ahead and spam your loyalty abilities and make it so that your creature fights your opponent's creatures. So this card is more of a gimmicky, cool card. It's not as widely applicable as the first 2 in the bundle. And the third card is Core Spirit Dancer. Core Spirit Dancer is 8 mana for a 2/6. It's got Heroic, so when you target this with a spell, this creature gets a permanent +3/+3 buff. And then when you cast an aura, draw a card. Now, this whole bundle pairs amazingly well with Eidolon Blossoms. Right? So I was immediately like, you know what? Yeah, I totally want to pair this with Eidolon Blossoms. So I did. Now, the thing about Krond is that you want to make sure that you're also going to be running some kind of lower cost auras, because the ideal is that you get Krond early on in your game, and then you put an aura on Krond, and then you raffle stomp your opponent, because once Krond comes down, you get an incredible amount of board presence, because that exiling either an enchantment or I guess a support or a creature every time it attacks is really strong. Really, really strong. Indrik Umbra is maybe my favorite card in the bundle. It's hard to say, but I definitely really like it. I really like playing aura decks with Eidolon of Blossoms, and this immediately swaps straight into that deck with Chromanticore and all that kind of stuff. Now, for this video, I did want to make sure that I didn't have like a fully mythic deck. I did throw in Song of Creation, but other than that, I just threw in rares and uncommons to try and show off what the bundle would do. So I've been having quite a bit of fun with it. It's like not like a super meta bundle, but it's definitely got really strong cards. So let's go ahead, jump straight into the gameplay and see how that goes. Alrighty, Duskstalker and Krond. Well, this is a pretty fantastic starting hand. My goodness. So obviously the goal is to get Krond down as quickly as possible and to get Krond enchanted. So wow. Oh man, we're going to get Addendum this fast? Oh, that's beautiful. So when I'm saying we're going to get Addendum this fast, Sentinel's Mark makes it so that the critter gets lifelink with the Addendum. So we're just going to be powering through. Look at this. We've got a turn 1 Krond. We're going to have it enchanted. This is great. So once you get Krond enchanted, unless your opponent has pretty heavy removal or they find a quick way to get rid of it, you kind of just win the game. Like, Krond just is so incredibly powerful that he just wins, because anything that our opponent plays now, Krond is just going to kill. So getting an Eidolon here is like, that's like icing on the cake. Look at this. All right, so we're going to get Animists. That's going to get us, I think, another Krond, right? Is that another Krond that we get? Yep. Oh, man. And then Krond also has the Hydra's growth on it. So Krond is going to be, of course, getting like even more massive. Wow, what an incredible start to this game. Look at this. Now we get Indrik Umbra. So the Umbra is going to make it so that Krond just can't die. All right, so we're going to lose our cards to Song of Creation, but that's honestly not too big of a deal. And we'll see if Eldrazi boy over here can start doing anything. I'm kind of hoping that he does, honestly, so that you can see just how much Krond is going to go ahead and get rid of everything he does. Let's go ahead and put Predatory Urge on Krond also, so that when our opponent activates a loyalty ability, we fight the first opposing creature. This just makes it so that if our opponent actually uses the first ability to play the little Eldrazi guys, then they just get immediately smashed. There's no hope for them. They are just doomed. And then if we can get the Spirit Dancer down right here, that means that now when we play our auras, we can just target the Spirit Dancer, and the Spirit Dancer with Heroic is actually going to buff up a little bit more quickly than the other things. So, all right, perfect. So our opponent just played this big, ugly Bane of Balaged. And so even though Krond here has the whole Berserker thing, when he attacks, he's just going to go ahead and flat out exile the opponent's stuff, right? So they're not going to the graveyard, they're just getting exiled. So you're going to see that even though this has Berserker, and you might be thinking like, oh, well, one of the downsides to Krond is that, you know, if you're using the Umbra, you're going to give him Berserker. Well, it's really not a big deal, actually. Look at this. Look what we're going to do. We got that green-white match, so we're going to put Hydra's Growth on our Spirit Dancer here. So let's go ahead and put Hydra's Growth on it. And so that's going to buff it with the growth, and then it's also going to buff it from the heroic ability. And then, of course, you know, the Eidolon is going to convert things. We're going to put an Indrik Umbra on our Spirit Dancer too. So Spirit Dancer is going to start getting pretty big for, you know, being a little Spirit Dancer. And wham. So the Eldrazi just got exiled. It's gone. It's done. That's it. The end. And now here we're going to get to see our opponent use the loyalty ability, but there are no creatures to fight. This one doesn't do the critters. Right. No critters for me. Whatever. That's fine. It's not a big deal. So we got another Hydra's Growth here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Eidolon this time, because the Eidolon is the only thing missing a Hydra's Growth. And then we're going to go ahead and use the Sentinel's Mark here on... Yeah, I'm going to use it on her. So that's just going to buff her up again with the Heroic. It's going to trigger some more gem conversion, and our opponent is pretty much dead. There's really not a lot my opponent can do. Now, I got a pretty sweet... You got haste. Oh, that doesn't help. The crows outside are sensing the defeat of this Eldrazi. You can hear them cawing in the background. And we get another Hydra's Growth. This is done. This is very done. So this is a pretty good example of what happens if you get Krond out early, and if you can put auras and stuff on Krond, which, I mean, let's face it, is not the hardest thing in the game to do, because, I mean, there are just so many auras, and if you have something like Eidolon of Blossoms, then you're going to get so much gem conversion that you're going to make horrible stuff like this happen. Like, this game is not an outlier. It's very much so something that's pretty easy to do. So my general thoughts, like my final thoughts on Krond, right, as we come here to the end of this video, is that Krond is pretty darn good. I do like Krond a lot. Krond is not going to be a meta warping card, So it's not going to be like Eidolon was in its bundle, and it's not going to be like Angie in her bundle. But even with that, it's still an incredibly powerful card. It's very good. It's very fun to play with. I've been really enjoying it the past few days that I've been playing with it. So yeah, if you want to get it, it's going to be in the vault. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.